What is up and welcome back. So we have been noticing recently, we've been doing this channel for probably about 3 years, and we found a gap, guys. Many times what we do is we cover the top cities like in the Denver metro, northern Colorado, that you guys can Google, you could search for, that are pretty dang popular when we're talking about when you're relocating into the Denver metro area. I'm gonna tell you right now that we haven't covered a few cities that are a lot less known in the Denver metro area, and so that's what this video is gonna be all about, is covering a few cities, growing up here as a 5th generation native, exposing you to those cities, and giving you a few of the different facts, and then also some personal stories for each of these cities. So in this video right here, what I did was I chose 4 cities that you may have never heard of, and I'm gonna tell you just straight up, there's a lot of channels in the Denver metro area, YouTube channels, and we don't really cover these cities. I'd say the bulk of us don't, because the SEO isn't that great. If you don't know about a city and you're sitting there searching in YouTube, looking for the city right here, and there's no SEO on the back end to support that, then the SEO isn't gonna pick it up, and just no one's really gonna see these videos. So we labeled this one in a way so that you could find the video and at the same time be exposed to these less known cities in the Denver metro. First one we are going to be talking about is, where is Wheat Ridge, Colorado? So if you're looking to drive over to Wheat Ridge from Denver, Denver's pretty much the center, and we always base these drive times off of that. You're looking at about a 20-minute drive straight west from Denver, and you can either take Highway 6, which will be on the south side of Wheat Ridge, or you can take I-70 on the north side of Wheat Ridge in order to get over to Wheat Ridge, Colorado. And if we're not just basing strictly off that, you've heard us talk about Arvada, Colorado, you've heard us talk about Lakewood, Colorado. This is a small city that's pretty much sandwiched in between the two of those areas. Now let's go ahead and talk about how big Wheat Ridge, Colorado is. The population of Wheat Ridge, Colorado is 31,879. This is based off of 2022 numbers. All of these population numbers that I am going to be going over for each of these cities is based off of your Wikipedia stats. I know it's not the most accurate, but for the sake of just getting this material together as quick as possible in regards to that population, we use wikipedia.com. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cost of living over in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. And when we are talking about this cost of living, this is based off of your cost of living index number, where 100 is your national average. If it's above that, then it's more expensive. And if it's below that, then it's cheaper than your national average. On top of that, what I'm also going to be doing is comparing these cities to Denver as well too, so you can get an idea, is this city going to be more expensive, cheaper than Denver? What are we looking at? So we're gonna do your overall cost of living index for Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Along the lines of that cost of living, let's break it even further down. If you are looking into purchasing a house in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, what is that median sales price going to be? These median sales prices are based off of July of 2024. And overall, when we lump both of those products together, we got your attached and your detached products into one number right there, you're looking at a median sales price of $685,000. Now here's something that's crazy, guys, is that number is up year over year, 17.4%. If you watch any other of our videos where we're talking about cost of living or just narrowing in on a certain city, these double digits, that is something rare that we are seeing in the Denver metro area. So if you see a city that is getting those gains, it's showing that it is gaining popularity. Now, if we break it down into your single family, your median sales price of your single family products is at a $700,000 price point, and that number is still up double digits, 14.01%. What are those attached products looking like? So we're talking about your condos, your townhouses, and your row homes. Median sales price on those ones is going to be $412,000, and that is up 22.77%. I think I have a reason why that number is up so much. The commuter rail, when we were talking about our light rail station that is expanding in the Denver metro area, there's essentially, I guess, one station in Wheat Ridge. I'd consider maybe 2. The Arvada Ridge station is also included in that, my personal opinion. But your Ward station, which is the furthest station in the G line from your commuter rail coming out of the city of Denver, is right there, and you were getting a bunch of like awesome townhouses that are getting built right around that station, and then also a lot of them got built around that Arvada Ridge station. And my guess is that those products that are selling up there is what is bringing this attached number up so much year over year. Now, let me tell you a little bit of a personal story, I guess, when we're talking about Wheat Ridge, Colorado, outside of the fact that, so Chelsea and I, essentially, it's not considered Wheat Ridge, but it's right on the border. There's a Target right there. That's just north of like Kipling and I-70. That's where Chelsea and I initially met before we got married. But Wheat Ridge, it's the best way I could explain Wheat Ridge because it is just full of trees. It is super beautiful when you are driving through there. I'd say it's a mix between like Lakewood and Arvada area. It's just a gorgeous place. Another quick story about Wheat Ridge, Colorado is Chelsea, back when she was doing case management for the hospital system, she was working at Lutheran Hospital, which their old location is in the heart of Wheat Ridge, Colorado on 40th, and they just moved that to the west side of I-70, a brand new hospital location over there. But we chose from all these different hospitals, even though we were commuting from like Northern Denver Metro, this hospital system within this area. The second city that we are going to be talking about, we did a video, I think we did a couple videos about the city, and they tanked. And I think the biggest reason that they tanked is no one really knows about this city. We're going to be talking about North Glen, Colorado. Where is North Glen, Colorado at? So if we're talking about driving from Denver, Colorado, it's pretty much a 23-minute drive straight north of Denver on I-25, right off of the highway right there. That is going to be North Glen, Colorado. It actually goes on both sides, so you have some of it that's on the west side of I-25. Majority of it is going to be on the east side of I-25. A good way to look at this outside of the drive time from Denver is we talk about Thornton, Colorado all the time. This is literally directly just south of Thornton, Colorado. There's times where you think you're in Thornton, Colorado, and really you're in North Glen, Colorado, and vice versa. They kind of go like this. I say the main boundary between these two cities is probably 120th, and they also etching it out a little bit at Washington, but it is still kind of, they go back and forth amongst those two boundaries right there. The population of North Glen, Colorado is going to be at 38,106, and let's go ahead and dive into that cost of living. So overall, if we take that cost of living index, overall you're looking at a 121.3, and that's going to be cheaper than Denver, which is at a 127.6. Now let's go ahead and talk about your housing. If you're looking to purchase and or rent a place in North Glen, Colorado, cost of living index is a 145.8, so still more expensive than your national average, but it's actually going to be cheaper than Denver at that 183.1. Breaking it down even further, talking about those real estate prices, your median sales price based off of July of 2024, overall, attached and detached products into one number, you're looking at a median sales price of $477,000, and that is actually down 6.01%. Now, if we break into that single family, the median sales price on your single family, you're looking at $500,000. And that number is also down 1.48%. And then your attached products median sales price is $430,000. And that number is actually up 9.97%. And anytime you see these numbers where your overall is down, and then your single family's down, and then your attached is up, what that's telling us is that that attached product is boosting that number up a little bit, but the single family has gone down so much that that's why that overall number is down. Why are the attached products up? North Glen has a similar thing to Wheat Ridge when we're talking about these commuter rail stations, those light rail stations within the city of North Glen. And then there's this area just north of 120th called Carl's Farm. You have a lot of great products in there that are attached townhouses. And the reason they're putting them there is you have the East Lake station that's just north of there. And these products that are in that Carl's Farm are awesome. We've actually had a few people who've checked them out, and they have like these rooftop products that you can see the mountains. It's amazing. So I think that's a big driving factor why these attached prices are up in the way that they are. Now, personal story about North Glen, Colorado. I mean, Chelsea and I have actually lived there before. When we got our first apartment back in the day, right over Washington right there. We used to live in North Glen, Colorado. But so E.B. Rains Park, it's a different thing, but what we love about E.B. Rains, it's just south of 120th there, pretty much right off of the highway, is they have a ton of great events there. They have a private pirate festival there. They have like a whole food truck festival there. They do a lot of great carnivals and stuff within that. E.B. Rains Park is a great spot to hang out. And then just right across the street, they have a bunch of great restaurants. We actually go and hit that Perry's Pizza quite often. Another thing about North Glen too is it seems like they do a great job collaborating with Thornton. Like when you have the 4th of July festival over at Carpenter Park, it seems like North Glen kind of takes a hand in kind of taking some of that stuff on as well too. North Glen, even though it's a smaller city than Thornton, Colorado, it might be one of those great opportunities where you can still take advantage of all the amenities that Thornton does offer, but not have to live in Thornton or pay that price point that is in Thornton. The third city that we are going to be talking about, it's another city that we haven't covered in a long time. We're going to be talking about Brighton, Colorado. Quick note on Brighton, Colorado is technically, I mean, when you're talking to me, I would have considered it being in the Denver metro, but that's today. Back in the day, I would say no, because it seemed like it was the boonies. It seemed like it was, you know, the farmland out there, and that's where all the cowboys were at. And I wouldn't have considered the Denver metro, but because the Denver metro, it seems like is expanding, that's why I am including this in this Denver metro video. So where is Brighton, Colorado? So here's the thing, you know, I told you, I think the furthest drive that we had was what, 23 minutes to North Glen, Colorado. To get out to Brighton, even though it is a little bit further, you're only looking at a 32-minute drive. So you pretty much go straight north and then east a little bit to get out into the heart of Brighton, Colorado from Denver, Colorado. So it's really not that bad of a drive. Biggest reason is the majority of that drive is going to be highway, so you can get out there pretty quickly. If we dive into that population of Brighton, Colorado, you're looking at a population of 41,886. A little bit bigger than North Glen, but it doesn't, when you go out there, it's so much more rural. Unless we're talking about kind of like your northern east side of Brighton, Colorado. That's where a lot of this newer development is going in, where more the west side of Brighton, that's where you got your Old Town Brighton and kind of your older housing developments in there. Now let's go and break into that cost of living index. Cost of living index overall is at 121.3 over in Brighton, Colorado, compared to Denver, again, is 127.6. So this is going to be cheaper on your cost of living index than Denver. If we look at that housing, you're looking at a cost of living index in Brighton of 155.8 compared to Denver, again, is a 183.1. So even if you're looking at purchasing a house in Brighton, Colorado, it is going to be cheaper than buying a house over in Denver, Colorado. What are those numbers though when we are talking about those median sales price? So in Brighton, Colorado, the median sales price on your overall is going to be $543,000, and that is actually up 0.61%. So we just call that a wash. It means that it really hasn't gone up or gone down over the last year. If we break into your single family, your median sales price is $545,000, and that is actually down 0.73%. So again, it seems like it's kind of a wash. If we look at your attached products, your median sales price is $368,000, and that is down 2.39%. I will say that the majority of the products that you are going to get in Brighton, Colorado is going to be more of your single family products. Like I said, it used to be a lot of farmland out there. You have a lot of acreage houses out there, you know, that have a lot more land. Not too many of your attached products. You will see a little bit more of that on kind of your northeastern side of Brighton, where they have that newer development happening, but majority of it is going to be your single family homes. So Brighton, Colorado, I kind of already told you guys about this. We had a family farm out there, and so I'd always go out there and, you know, hang out with the family, pet the goats, you know, try and catch the chickens, all the great things like that. Brighton is cool. I mean, I remember it's come so far from what it used to be. It just used to be a little farm town, and now it's just blowing up like crazy, especially with all that newer development that is happening. And so I'm excited to see where this goes with Brighton, to see how big they grow, how much they do develop. But I want you to keep it on your radar, something to look at if you are looking at living outside of Denver, and then also getting a cheaper price point. The fourth and final city that we are going to be talking about, and I threw this one in here. We don't ever really talk about it, but you guys have been bringing it up. When we're talking to you guys, it's like, hey, can you tell me about this place, Lone Tree, Colorado? So Lone Tree, Colorado, let's just talk about the drive time. So it's essentially a 28-minute drive south of the center of Denver, going straight south, and it's right before you get to Castle Rock. So you're going down, you know, you pretty much hit like Centennial area, and then you have this side on the west side of I-25. Right before you get into the foothills, and Lone Tree even does break a little bit into the foothills going south towards Castle Rock, you have this area called Lone Tree, Colorado. Lone Tree, Colorado, let's see what those numbers look like. So the population is going to be 14,177. So this is definitely the smallest city that we have talked about so far. Cost of living though, there's something to note with this Lone Tree area. So cost of living overall is a 143.6, whereas Denver's a 127.6. So it doesn't seem like it's that much more expensive when we are comparing it to Denver, Colorado. But here's the kicker right here. Housing, when we're talking about renting or purchasing a house in Lone Tree, Colorado, it is at a 290.4. So we're talking bolder numbers here when we're talking about purchasing a house inside of Lone Tree, Colorado, because Denver's still only at a 183.1. So that's almost 100 points higher than what it costs for housing over in Denver. Let's break that into your median sales prices. All right, so here's the numbers right here. This is why I say this is closer to our bolder numbers when we're talking about your median sales prices of purchasing a house in Lone Tree. So overall, if we talk about that number overall, your attached, your detached products all into one number, you got a median sales price of $1.14 million. Single family median sales price is $1.24 million, and your attached product comes down a little bit more at $610,000. Yes, this area is much more expensive when we are talking about those housing prices. as compared to a few of these other cities, but we do see a lot of people who are looking at this area and do choose this area. It's a great little spot. I feel like it's a great mix between pretty much like city life and kind of getting more into your foothills life, because it has a mix of both of those. Lone Tree, Colorado, though, like I said, if that's a price point that you're looking at, it might be a great option, might be something that you really want to look into. All right, guys, I'm glad I could bring you those 4 cities. Why don't you leave me some comments down below and tell me what you think about each and every one of them. If you are looking at purchasing real estate in the state of Colorado, make sure you give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right there, we have assembled the best team of realtors who are experts in relocating you into this area. But if you're not quite ready to purchase, why don't you do yourself a huge favor and follow along by smashing that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, notification bell, that way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. Till next time, we love you. Bye.